Bud Ray Productions presents The Adventures of the Raven. One man's battle against crime and injustice in the guise of an ominous bird. When you hear the raven's call, another criminal will fall.
Before today's episode of The Raven begins, I like to say a few words for our sponsors. Stay tuned at the end of this broadcast for a special message from Orson Petticoat about the Ugly Puppy Foundation of America. But first, let's talk about your upcoming dinner plans. Why not treat your family to something special like dinner at Chelsea's Chicken and Waffle, the family-style restaurant that makes mealtime fun? Kiddies get free soft-serve ice cream on a waffle cone with any meal off the junior menu, and all children under the age of 5 eat for free. Try something different for dinner tonight. Eat at Chelsea's Chicken and Waffles, where the batter is always better. The Raven, Petrie Swertelli, is the wealthy son of a murdered Chicago crime boss. Having learned from his father's mistakes, Petrie uses his criminal inheritance to fight for justice and the good of all mankind. In the disguise of a giant raven, Petrie employs his cunning and prowess to defeat master criminals that normal law enforcement can never reach. The Raven's true identity is known only to his loyal secretary and friend, Maxine Rode. Today's episode, The Cult of Anozira.
So your brother Jimmy's in town on business, or is it strictly social visit, Maxine?
I'm not sure, Petrie. He called me late last night and seemed very earnest that we meet for lunch today. He specifically requested that you be present.
Very curious.
I hope he's not in trouble.
What does he do for a living?
He's an accountant manager for a reputed fish company on the East Coast. Jimmy has done quite well for himself over the years.
Tell me about his personal life. Does he drink or gamble?
No, nothing like that. As a matter of fact, he's engaged to the daughter of his employer.
Well, perhaps he's ready to announce his wedding or ask for our planning assistance.
I wish that to be the case, but something in the tone of his voice makes me fear otherwise.
Hush, Maxine. Here comes your brother now.
Hello.
Oh, Jimmy dear, how wonderful to see you. Please come and sit down. Petrie Swertelli has come to join us, just as you requested.
Nice to meet you, Jimmy.
Nice to see you too, Mr. Swertelli.
Please call me Petrie.
Jimmy Rode, you look frightfully pale and gaunt. What on earth is wrong? Are you sick?
Only with worry. Does it show that much, Max?
It certainly does.
You do look a bit frazzled. Perhaps a glass of whiskey would perk you up.
No thanks. I prefer to keep my wits about me.
It can't be as bad as all that.
I'm afraid so, Max. I need help, and I don't know where to turn.
Tell us all about it, Jimmy.
Well, a few months back, I became engaged to Ellie Gordon, the daughter of Captain Hugh Gordon.
The owner of Hugh G. Fish Products?
Yes, I've worked with him for several years.
Is there a problem with Ellie?
No, it's her father that worries me.
Something's up with the captain?
Yes.
Is he ill?
Not exactly.
Well, what then?
Oh, Max, it's all so fantastic. I hardly know where to start.
Take it easy, Jimmy. We're both behind you. Go back to the beginning and tell us what led to your concerns about Captain Gordon.
All right, Petrie. This is going to sound crazy, but here goes. About a year ago, a stranger came into the picture called Anozira.
Is that his last name?
That's the only name he goes by, Max. As you know, the Hugh G. Fish Company is the lifeblood of a coastal town called Preston Rock. That community was named after a settler named Roderick Preston a couple hundred years ago. Preston claimed he made a pact with an elder god of the Atlantic to bring prosperity to his fishing village. As a result, he came to a sticky end at the hands of Puritans.
I've heard that legend. A lot of local nonsense aimed at tourism.
Maybe not. When Anozira arrived last year, he claimed to be the offspring of the same Atlantic elder god, and he brought with him promises of prosperity to all those who worshipped him. He claimed to be part fish and part man, and even has the gills to prove it. Now he's taking control of Preston Rock.
And Captain Gordon has fallen for this malarkey?
Hook, line, and sinker, no pun intended. My greater concern is how Ellie goes along with anything her father says or does. That's why I've come to you, Mr. Swertelli. You're the only one I know with enough influence and ability to help me break this hold Anozira has over Captain Gordon.
I appreciate your candor.
Could we help, Petrie?
Absolutely, Maxine. After lunch, you book our plane flight out east, and I'll make some additional arrangements.
FBI Special Agent Johnson Stanwyck speaking. The Raven, what do you want?
Something fishy is going on in Preston Rock, Agent Stanwyck.
Is that supposed to be some joke, Raven? It's well known that Hugh G. fish plant is located in Preston Rock.
Yes, but also a fishy conspiracy is unfolding there. You better check into it, Stanwyck, before one of your superiors finds you bottom feeding when Preston Rock sinks like Atlantis.
All right, Raven, I'll take the bait. What do you know?
A fanatical cult has taken over Preston Rock and the Hugh G. Fish Company.
A cult?
Yes, their leader claims to be the offspring of an elder god of the deep.
How outrageous.
Even more fantastic is how this fish god has managed to hold sway over an entire community. Check into it, Stanwyck. I will keep you abreast of further developments as they unfold to me.
All right, Raven, I'll put a team together and check it out firsthand.
Good. Perhaps we'll cross paths in Preston Rock.
Come in. Oh, it's you, Peter. Better shut that door. Peter, you're a fool to walk around here out of costume.
There's no sweat it, Gus. I'm careful. A guy's got to take a break from the fish man get up once in a while, you know?
You take a great risk.
Why even call me by my real name, then? I'm Ippolit, henchman to the fish god Anozira. In reality, Pete and Gus, a couple of con men from Buffalo, with rap sheets a mile long.
That's all in the past, dear Ippolit. Now, we are gods.
Gods without much common sense.
Ellie? We weren't expecting you.
Apparently not. I could hear you talking out in the hallway. Nice way to blow our cover, dummies. And you, Ippolit, put your gills back on and get into character. Gee, I gotta follow you two around like a ringleader.
Now, Ellie, no one has yet bothered us back in this little office of your father's plant. This is our sanctuary.
The only sanctuary you're gonna know is a prison cell if you slip up, moron. We've come too far with this scam to blow it now.
Take it easy, Ellie. We're doing our part. You should be more worried about that goody-goody fiancé of yours mucking things up for us. You know, I saw him leave with a suitcase today. Where do you suppose he went?
To visit his sister in Chicago. Good riddance.
He'll be back. You agreed to marry him, after all.
Unfortunately, I only let him on because he's such a chump. I figured I could take control of Daddy's business through him, until we brought this scheme to fruition. Now he's turned out to be a burr in my behind.
You need a real man to take care of you, baby.
Back off, fish boy, and worry about your job. There'll be plenty of time for romance later after I'm in control of Hugh G. Fishery. There'll be no more begging my tightwad daddy for handouts. I'll be able to pursue the lifestyle that I should be accustomed to.
In the meantime, we should be leery of lover boy Jimmy.
Maybe the chump should be taken out of the equation entirely.
What are you suggesting there, Ellie?
Maybe the chump should fall victim to an industrial accident here at the plant.
Too risky. Let's just gaff him off-site and be done with it.
Out-and-out murder, eh?
Sure, we'll pin it on some outsiders and raise the paranoia of the whole community. This could work to our advantage.
All right. Since this is more your department, I'll leave you two hoodlums to work out the details.
I think I'll enjoy this job.
Just don't enjoy it so much that you blow your cover. Now, if you two fish sticks will excuse me, I'm going to have tea with my daddy. Oh, Daddy, it's time for a break. I'm here for tea.
Is it that time already? I get so wrapped up in my accounts. Some days I long for the fresh sea air and the smell of ocean fishing again.
Oh, Daddy, you're too old and feeble for that now. You should be thankful you only have to oversee things at this plant.
Perhaps you're right. The elder gods of the deep have smiled upon me and sent me 2 of their own to help me run my business. We seem to have cornered the market on fish in this part of the Atlantic.
That's because under Anozira's wise guidance, all the other fishermen in the region have either joined us or been driven out with the threats of violence and plague against their families and future offspring.
Those foolish, stubborn fools. They could have stayed and prospered with us rather than face the wrath of Anozira. All that he asks in return for prosperity is worship and obedience. Some people are just too stubborn to accept a good thing. The founder of this community accepted the opportunity generations ago, but those damned Puritans ran him and his people out of the region and drove the elder gods back into the sea. The gods vowed never to return, but I softened them after the years of calling from a cliff at Lookout Point. They finally answered me and sent Anozira and his servant Apolit, half men, half fish, out of the ocean to be our salvation.
Hail
Hail
Anozira!
Anozira!
Hail Anozira!
Unabek Atuth! Anozira! Unbitak! By the way, sweet daughter of mine, where is your fiancé, Jimmy? He's supposed to help me with the accounts today.
Didn't you know, Daddy? Jimmy ran off to Chicago to see his sister.
What? Just out of the blue in the middle of a work week?
I'm afraid, Daddy, that Jimmy's heart isn't in the business the way it should be. He's turning out not to be a team player.
But I don't understand. I thought Jimmy was a loyal fellow. You love him, don't you?
Well, I guess I'll always have feelings for Jimmy, but I'm more afraid that he doesn't love Anozira. As a matter of fact, I don't think he respects or believes in Anozira at all.
That's awful news, Ellie. When Jimmy gets back, you tell him that I want to see him immediately. If he doesn't pledge absolute faith to Anozira, I'll not condone your marriage to him. I'm sorry if that news upsets you.
Oh, Daddy, I understand completely. I could never be married to a man that doesn't hold the same beliefs that you and I do.
You're a loyal girl, Ellie, and I love you with all my heart.
I love you too, Daddy.
Before the Raven reaches the thrilling climax of his adventure, I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about your upcoming meal plans. If you're thinking of dining out by yourself or with the whole family, check out Chelsea's Chicken and Waffle Restaurant for food everyone will enjoy. Chelsea is famous for its variety of chicken and waffle combos, such as stewed chicken waffle a la king, fried chicken waffle and collard greens, or for the kiddies, there's the chicken tender waffle surprise. In addition to chicken and waffles, Chelsea has all manner of standard American cuisine.
Caw, caw, caw! Burgers or fish, fries or hot dish. Young and old will get their wish at Chelsea's Chicken and Waffle. This week, clip the coupon from your Sunday newspaper and get a free beverage with the purchase of any standard waffle platter.
Take the Raven's advice and head down to Chelsea's Chicken and Waffle for a unique dining experience. Remember, children under 5 eat for free. That makes the savings for your family almost criminal. Eat at Chelsea's today, where the batter is always better.
Well, Maxine, here we are in Preston Rock.
It's so quiet. It almost seems like a ghost town. Did you tip the cab driver, Petrie?
Yes, I did. And he tore out of here without even thanking me.
Why do you suppose that is?
I think he was afraid.
If what Jimmy told us is true, he might have good reason to be.
There's a hotel across the street, Maxine. Your brother said he'd meet us there.
Not a very inviting place, is it?
No. It looks like something out of a gothic horror film. Well, let's go.
Ah, Maxine, Petrie, you made it. I just booked you a room. Here are the keys.
Why is that old man behind the counter staring at us?
Townspeople are all suspicious of outsiders. This part of Anozira's edict. Mistrust all non-believers.
Typical cult propaganda.
Hey, if you stick by me, no one will give you problems.
Look, the old desk clerk's picked up the phone. He keeps glancing at us while he's dialing.
I think you're reading too much into it, Max. Let me show you your room. And there's a man around the corner at the tavern I want you to meet.
The rusty anchor, eh? How unoriginal.
And equally uninviting. Everyone is staring at us just like the desk clerk at the hotel.
Yeah, just ignore him. The man I want you to meet is in the back booth. His name is Pop Cardigan. Come on, I'll introduce you to him.
Ho, ho, ho for old peg-leg Tom. The whale swam up, now his leg is gone. Oh, say, is that you, Jimmy boy?
Alright, Pop. These are the two people I told you about. My sister Max and her companion Petrie.
Max and Petrie, eh? Sit down, and keep old Pop Cardigan company for a little while. Go get a pitcher of beer, Jimmy, and glasses for everyone.
So, Pop, Jimmy tells me that you're the oldest man living in Preston Rock.
That's right, friend. I turned 89 last Thursday, and my mind is still as sharp as when I was a wee lad.
You see many changes over the decades then, haven't you?
I've seen just about everything there is to see in Preston Rock over the past century.
And what do you think about the coming of this fish god, Anozira?
I spit fire at his very name, and not because I'm a fearing man of any god. I've heard a lot of crazy things in the history of this town, and I consider them to be only that, crazy things. So said my father, and my father's father, and his father before that.
So you believe that Anozira and Apolit are fakers?
They're falser than $3 bills, they are.
Why does the whole community worship Anozira?
That old fool, Captain Corden, started all this nonsense. He used his power and his money to ram his false god down our throats.
The old captain's influence is far-reaching. The owners won't serve us here.
Just as well, Jimmy. Our presence may be endangering Pop Cardigan.
I can take care of myself. But you two should get out of town before the cult gets a hold of you.
Jimmy, can you take us to see the captain?
Not at this hour, but I'll see what I can do in the morning. Maybe you should just hunker down in your hotel room until then.
Perhaps Jimmy's right. I'm a bit frightened.
All right, then. We'll return to the room. Thanks for talking, Pop.
I just wish it could have been under better circumstances.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Those people from the tavern have followed us back up to the hotel. They're coming up the stairs after us.
And the desk clerk has joined them.
This doesn't look good at all.
Look at that horrible man coming around the stairwell at the head of the crowd. He has gills!
That's Apolit.
Quick, Maxine, into the room.
Jimmy Rowan, you are a traitor.
You better get in the room too, Petrie. Lock the door. I'm gonna make a run for it. I know the back way out of here.
Be careful, Jimmy.
Oh, Petrie, what a nightmare.
Calm down, Maxine. We all have to stay rational.
What's that sound?
Apparently, they've used a skeleton key to double lock the door from the outside.
You mean we're locked in?
Yes.
We're prisoners at their mercy?
No, not quite. The Raven is going out the window. I can scale the ledge to the fire escape and get down.
But what about me?
You'll be safe here for now. Remember, they locked the door to keep you in here. I'll find some help and come back for you. In the meantime, Maxine, try not to panic.
Oh, please, mermaid of the deep blue sea, won't you come and swim with me?
Caw, caw, caw!
Giant blackbird, please don't kill me!
I mean you no harm, Pop Cardigan.
Why did you follow me into this alley?
For information. I'm here to stop the evil brought upon your community by Anozira.
What do you want to know?
Where can I find him?
There will be a meeting tonight in the old town hall. He's turned it into his temple. Anozira is due to give a speech tonight before the whole community.
Excellent timing for his downfall.
Who are you?
Come on, sister. We're going to meet Anozira. Where's your boyfriend?
He's not here. Wait, aren't you Ellie Gordon? I recognize you from a photograph.
You're pretty smart, sister. Maybe too smart.
A gun?
That's right, and I know how to use it. So come on and don't try anything funny.
You'd better cooperate, Captain Gordon. I have a warrant, and my men are ready to tear your plant apart.
You can't just barge into my home and tell me what to do. I don't care if you are from the FBI, Agent Stanwyck.
You're wasting time, Captain Gordon. Anozira isn't who you think. He's not a god. He's a criminal, and you're harboring him.
What the hell's going on, Captain Gordon? Apelit's trying to kill me.
Who is this?
This is Jimmy Rode, my employee.
Who are you?
Johnson Stanwyck, FBI. Did you say someone is trying to kill you?
Yeah, Anozira's henchman, Apelit.
Where can I find Anozira and Apelit? Captain Gordon is not cooperating with me.
They're in the old town hall right now. Anozira's turned it into his temple.
Come with me then. Let's get over there right now.
Silence! I have called the community together in my temple tonight to expose outsiders, spies in our midst. Do you see this woman here?
No, stop it! Let go of me!
This woman is a spy. Spies must be eradicated from our humble school of fish. What is this? A new spy in a black bird costume?
I am no spy, Anozira. I am the Raven, an avenger for truth.
I've heard of you, Raven. What are you doing here?
I'm going to expose you as a fake in front of all these people.
How dare you? I am a god! I shall strike you down for such slander.
Not if I strike you first. Take that! Get off the floor, Anozira. Is that the way for a god to act?
I'll get you.
Well, look at that. Your gills have fallen off. You're no god at all. You're just a charlatan in a cheap costume. Listen to me, all of you. Anozira and Apelit have deceived you. They have no supernatural powers. They are only criminals who tricked a vulnerable community into believing that they were gods. This pathetic man at my feet should stand trial and be prosecuted for his crimes. And Apelit too! Are you going to put up with this nonsense anymore from either of them? That's my cue to leave, Maxine. You'll be okay now.
Goodbye, Raven.
This is the FBI. Everyone stay calm. We have the building surrounded.
That's our cue to scram, Apelit. Let's get out of here while we still can.
The Raven! Where'd he disappear to?
Forget the Raven. My car is down the block. We'll use the secret escape tunnel to get to it. driving on this old coast road. The cliff beside you spills right into the ocean.
Listen, shut up, Ellie. I know how to drive. That was sure a narrow escape, I'll tell you that.
We're not out of the woods yet, dummy. Watch out for this next ridge. Oh no! A roadblock! It's the FBI!
Well, I can't stop in time.
Ah!
So, Maxine, after a little interrogation by Stanwyck, Anozira, a.k.a. Gus Randolph, confessed to everything.
I can't believe that Ellie was the ringleader.
She was obsessed with power and greed until the very end, when she and Ippolit went over the cliff and crashed into the ocean.
Almost a fitting end, in a way.
How's Jimmy taking it?
Oh, he'll survive. I'm not so sure about Captain Gordon, though. Jimmy has promised to help the old man through the aftermath of all this, to keep the company afloat.
And I'm sure he'll be rewarded for his efforts. As for Anozira, he'll have a long time to ruminate over his failed plot in prison.
Before today's episode of The Raven draws to a close, animal advocate Orson Petticoat would like to say a few words for the Ugly Puppy Foundation of America. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Petticoat.
Thank you, Avery Peabody. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to talk to you today about the troubling plight of ugly puppies in America. Every year across the country, thousands of ugly puppies are put to death because nobody wants them. A near equal number of ugly people commit suicide each year because they feel likewise unwanted. Bud Ray has pioneered a program pledging ugly puppies to equally ugly owners for their mutual gain of love and affection. If you're ugly and depressed because of it, send in your photograph to the Ugly Puppy Foundation today, and you will be paired with an equally ugly canine companion. The Ugly Puppy Foundation does its best to pair the proper ugly dog with an equally ugly human soulmate. Even if you only know an ugly person who might be too ashamed to reach out, send a photo today. Give your friend a loving companion and save another ugly puppy from the incinerator. Call today for more information at 1-86-YOU-ARE-UGLY. Or visit us online at uglypuppy.org. An ugly puppy deserves to live as much as you do.
Thank you, Orson Petticoat. And remember, everybody, to make your next dining experience extra special at Chelsea's Chicken and Waffles Family Restaurant, where the batter is always better.
Caw, caw, caw! When you hear the ravens call, another criminal will fall. Join us again next week for the adventures of the Raven.